And we are live, people.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon,
Hello.
good evening. Hello to everybody around the world. Nox! International streaming
Annyeonghaseyo.
levels na tayo. Share.
Tapos limited lang pala yung alam na ano ba yan?
Na lengguahe. What can we do?
Oo
What
nga.
can we do? Who do we have in the stream so far?
Oh, we have a lot of people. Vicky Villa, unahin ko na.
Okay.
Hey, Vicky, magandang gabi. I love you.
Hello, Vicky. Thank you for joining every single one of our streams.
Ayan.
Maswet talaga sila, maswet.
The ever beautiful.
Ang tamis-tamis. Tamis-tamis po. Ganon.
True. MJ, hello.
MJ.
Good evening. You're as
Hi,
good looking
MJ.
as everybody else, MJ. You're still top fan. Sobrang top fan na siya ng Steady Wins Any Game. To the point na may mga may mga nagtatampo, ba't hindi pa ako top fan? Sorry. Babalikan namin yung page. All right.
Hello to Krishna. So Krishna is here as well. Hello.
Oh,
Hi,
nice.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Who else do we have? There's
While we're waiting, may nagpapabati kasi ng happy birthday. Radio station pala tayo, guys. Happy birthday to Drew Galve. He is one of my former schoolmates in high school. 90s vibes tayo. He just had his birthday on August 26th, and he will be our episode guest on episode 9, if I'm not mistaken. Basta one of these near closer episodes.
cool
Nice.
beans.
Nice. Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Jeff T. Kaluza. Hello.
Hi, Jeff T. Yes, Quarantitas. It's also a podcast that I guested on a couple of weeks ago. Nung birthday ko pala. Yon. Hello, Jeff T. Welcome. I bet you would like this episode and the next one kasi I saw your content about tattoos, and so watch out for our next episode, which we'll talk about later on towards the end of the show. Vicky,
Yes.
good
Taray
evening.
nung and the ever handsome Daniel. Check.
Yes.
Kayo na sweet.
Sabi niya, excited for tonight. Wait lang, itong episode or tonight? No kidding.
Ay, naku, Diyos ko,
Ano
kayong
ba?
dalawa talaga. Ano ba yun?
Tamis?
Sana all? Sana all, Ruthie? Di
Pretty
naman.
Soon, Ruth, don't worry. Dadating
Alam
yan.
nyo Oh, Yumi is watching. Hi, Yumi. Hi, Renji. Hello. What's
Thank
up,
you
what's
for
up,
liking
guys?
the page, Yumi. Jeric joined as well. Si episode 4 guest natin. Our
Oh.
resident artist. Yes.
Lodi.
Yes.
Lodi, thanks so much for the graphics dun sa aking page. Maraming salamat po.
And your page is what again, Tocino Raider?
_proselyte.
May underscore talaga. Yes. Thank you very
Baka
much.
daw maligaw eh. Baka maligaw.
Oo nga.
Daming posters eh, char.
And also hello to Jamie, who is joining us from Martires, Cavite. Finally home after 5 months daw siya. Yeah.
Wow.
Welcome back home.
Wow.
Good to hear that you
Si
were
ano,
able to go back.
Ang Val is from Cavite. Gusto ko din pumunta ng Cavite. Wala lang. Hi, Yumi. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, Yumi. Yumi-san.
All right.
Sad.
Marvy just joined as well. Hello, Marvy. Yon. Okay, so 7:05 on the dot here, and as usual, we would like to officially welcome you to episode 6, which we called Rise of Steady Wins Any Game. My name is Rach.
My name's Daniel.
And I am Ruth.
I am Ruth.
Oh, yun. Hinihintay kong sabihin ni Daniel.
Hindi! Hindi
May
siya
sakit, may sakit pa. Oo, may sakit pa
Yeah.
nga to.
Ako na
Feeling
lang,
pa
ako
siya
na lang.
okay.
Wala pa 100
Hindi
eh.
niya dinaktong yung I am Ruth.
Ruth. Yes. So tayong dalawa na
I
lang.
am Ruth. Sige, pagbibigyan kita. Okay.
All right. So for those of you guys who just joined us for the first time, welcome to all of you. We hope that you have fun. And for our loyal weekly swaggers who have joined us on every single one of our episodes ever since the beginning, raise your hands if you are loyal, if you are loyal swaggers, because we see a number of you guys here. Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in every Saturday at 7 p.m. to draw inspiration from our awesome guests. And so our mission, just to remind everybody, is to inspire you to do things that make you feel alive. And that's the reason why we're fully booked until the end of October, which should be good news for everybody, because we want people to be inspired to do things that make them feel alive. And so if you feel so alive and pumped up right now, we'd like for you to do 3 things. First is we'd like to start off with a bit of a gratitude exercise. It's something that I feel like everybody would need right now. Please drop your shout outs in the comment section by tagging anyone who helped you rise to any occasion, or anyone who helped you, who lifted you up during a time when you really needed it. So do your shout outs in the comment section and tag them in the comment section. Second thing is to react to and share this stream to your social media platforms so that we can continue sharing the love throughout the entire world. And don't forget to add the hashtags, #rise and #steadywins_any_game. Last but not the least, step number 3 for tonight, please look at the top right-hand corner of your screen of this stream. You'll see a bell icon. Please hit that so that you can be notified every time that we're live, so that you do not miss any of our episodes, no matter where you are. And so, Dan, I know that we have a disclaimer. Please take it away.
Right. Sorry, let me...
Clear your throat.
Vocalization.
Wala pa.
Kailangan ng vocalization.
Wala pa akong
Yes.
100% eh. Oh, okay. So, please be advised that all swag webcasts are for entertainment purposes only. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in the webcast are for general information only, and any reliance on the information provided in this webcast is done at your own risk. This webcast should not be considered professional advice. I mean, you can, but we're telling you not to, okay? Unless specifically stated otherwise. Swag does not endorse, approve, recommend, or certify any information, product, process, service, or organization presented or mentioned in this webcast or podcast. And information from this webcast or podcast should not be referenced in any way. Sa dulo talaga gumaganon eh. To imply such approval or endorsement. And that's about it.
I-record mo na kasi ganda.
Ayaw niyang i-record.
Ayoko masaya gawin siya live eh.
Gusto niya ng live.
Gusto niya gawa ng live. O sige na nga, airtime mo yan. Okay.
So, thank you for doing the disclaimer, Dan. Even if you're not at 100%, I'm pretty sure that all of our viewers are very appreciative of the fact that you are live right now, even if you're not at total 100% tonight. To introduce our guest for tonight, I know that we already shared a video on our page just recently or during this week, but we would like to show you what that video is right now. Dan?
All right, sure.
you got something out of that video, which is pretty much excitement and enthusiasm for the guest who we have tonight. So I'm very honored to introduce our guest tonight, who is a writer, a strength and fitness expert, entrepreneur, and life coach. In his website and social media pages, you will find him talking about how to dominate in life, physical strength and mental performance, and living and creating a legacy for ourselves. He firmly believes that each one of us in this world has a life story that needs to be lived to the fullest. The question he hopes to help people answer today is, how will this fit my life story? I met him when we were in 6th grade. Yes, this was kanina nag-introduction kaming apat, and I said I met him way back in the night. Medyo layo.
Bilangan sila ng taon sa totoo lang. Kanina. Oo, ganun.
Yes, and so I met him way back in grade school. And the last time I think that we saw and we spoke with each other was in grade school or was in the 90s. But we recently reconnected through social media when he was in the middle of being a badass strength and fitness expert that you guys see in his pages today. And he's also, on top of that, he's also an entrepreneur. We'll find out the rest of his story together. And so let's warmly welcome my friend and your inspiration for tonight, Coach A. De La Cruz. Woo!
Yeah, right. Coach A, welcome.
Usually maraming pumapalakpak eh. Kami na lang.
I felt ako watching that video.
Ikaw kaya nag-edit.
Oh, weird when you're watching yourself that way.
I get that. So, kamusta naman ang life?
Okay naman. I'm doing great. I'm here right now in the office of the family business. So, I'm here para ma-steady yung internet connection.
Gets rin namin yan.
Yeah.
We understand that too.
I feel you.
Right? Diba?
Pwede lang. Ay, nako.
All right. How's business so far? How's coaching during these days?
Well, I transitioned my coaching from the in-person. Now everything is online. I've been blessed. It's hard sometimes to admit that I've been blessed, but because a lot of other coaches and other trainers are struggling during this time.
Yep.
But for me, the Lord has been good with me. Your faith has been good with me, and I've been really transcendent yung growth ko when I transitioned myself to online coaching, which is I have clients all over. So yeah, it's just a blessing right now.
So and that's a good segue to like pretty much your entire background, because I think a lot of people are very interested to know what your background is, where it's all coming from, what you're doing now, because a lot of people need that kind of inspiration, and that's the reason why we invited you to this episode, particularly with this theme, because during the pandemic there are so many people right now who likely need that kind of uplifting. Like they need to hear it from people who are pivoting during this I don't like that term, but then there's no other term for it. But they need to hear it from people who have seen it or have actually done it during this pandemic. And so let's start off with a somewhat meaty question that will unravel your entire history here. So your quote is one of the most profound quotes that we've ever gotten here in Steady Wins Any Game. And so just to remind everybody, the quote says, "Be humble in your aspirations, gracious in your victories, tenacious in your failures." And so for someone who has heard that for the first time, it sounds like it's from someone who had so many life-changing experiences. And so the question is, where did all of this come from, and what's the story behind your quote? Or
in Tagalog.
Yes.
In Tagalog, ano ang hugot ng buhay mo?
Yan. Sa mo hinugot lahat yan. Yan.
Ang lalim. Ang lalim
Yes.
sa mga, mas malalim sa mga hugot ng love life pa. Ayan, Char.
Well, everything, just to be clear about it, everything naman in life is interconnected. Life, personal life, business and everything, even love, it's all interconnected. That's what I believe in so much. So yung hugot na yon, well, I wouldn't say well, yeah, it's a hugot. I'd say it really came from a place wherein I felt like it was rock bottom. And I remember those times where when I was victorious, it's like I felt like when you win in life, when you feel like you're winning in life, it's really it's a fleeting feeling. So you always have to be ready to fail. And when you fail, you learn from those failures, and then you reach a higher height from before, which will give you a different kind of wisdom into moving yourself forward. I mean, each time we fall, that's what I experienced. Each time I fell, each time I learned from a mistake, it's more of like, okay, I thought I knew a lot of stuff before, but right now in my current state, I know I need to know more in order for me to grow and move forward in life. Parang ganun lang siya kasimple.
Right.
It's a theme of how you live your life.
So, Coach A, you mentioned something about failures earlier and how we should, learn from them. So, at what point do you, what do you call this? Should one decide to throw in the towel after failing so many times?
Well, I think the only time you will throw in the towel is in life gets sucked out of you. Pag namatay ka na, that's the only time. I mean, I've been coaching a lot of people wherein they thought that it's the end of the road for them. That's why I go to physical fitness.
Right.
I feel like from all of the things that you try to achieve in life, it's always the physical, which is the easiest and the most tangible and the most measurable way of you progressing forward. In my years of coaching, I felt like when you try to fix your physical first, the first thing that gets done with that is that you're doing something for yourself immediately. So, nabi-measure mo na kagad, pumapayat ako, pinapawisan ako, I feel good, endorphins come up. It's a daily process of you doing something for yourself and moving yourself forward. And even though you're failing, going back to your question, when you fail kasi you're just down on the rocks and everything. I felt that. But when you move, you go to physical fitness, you try to move yourself forward through that, you will feel better, and at the end of the day, you feel like, okay, tomorrow I can do better. Because right now, even though I'm down, tomorrow it will be different. And the only time you will throw in the towel is when life takes you away from this earth and you go back to dust. That's the
When you're
only time.
dead na talaga,
Yeah.
that's when you throw in the towel.
Right.
Quoting our previous guest, who is also in the stream right now, who joined us tonight, is Jeric Bastillo. He said na we asked him, so is it ever too late for you to do something that you absolutely want to do? And sabi niya, it's never too late, patay lang ang wala ng oras. Yon.
That's very true. Diba?
Lalim na.
Hey,
Lalim.
think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my theme of life in my life. And going back to failures is just really the thing that really makes you grow. I mean, we celebrate victories all the time. That's what I believe in so much. But at the same time, it's wherein you fail that you try to grow more. Dun talaga. You never learn anything from victories. It's the journey to the victory where you learn a lot. After you win at anything, the next phase is that, okay, what do I learn from here on? Ganun lagi. That's what I think about life and how I try to live my life.
So to understand it a little bit more and to get a little bit more context, what did you do in your history, ba? Like, and how did you get to where you are right now? Because you didn't wake up one day and you're all buff like that, right? So, you didn't wake up one day and discover all of these truths in your life. And so, how did that happen? Where were you? Like, where did you get all of this wisdom from?
When I met you, I was a frail, thin kid na sobrang kulit lang. I think that's what you remember of me. Sobrang kulit ko noon.
Yes.
6, I used to follow her around. Yeah.
Panahon yan ng mixtape, ganyan.
Yeah. In our last conversation, Roch mentioned, I remember you through this song. Do you remember me? Then you mentioned I made her mixtape when you were younger. Yung mga nag-record, stop record.
Yes, the mixtape. I remember from the episode, the mixtape has a lot of meaning.
Diba? Mga ano yung mga
Anyway.
30s and above people lang nakang-gets na yan.
Right. And so after nung like all of that, after school and stuff, where did life take you?
My life is very colorful. I had a child when I was 17. My daughter was born when I was 17.
Mhm.
I mean, I got married early as well. I got annulled as well early, and I graduated late in college. But all throughout those times, the only thing that was staying with me were two things: the seeking of adventure and sports. And then when I discovered sports, I used to box a lot. I used to fight a lot in boxing. I used to do jiu-jitsu. And then I discovered lifting. When I discovered lifting, I realized that, okay, this is life-changing for me. Things I never thought that I could lift before was something really, kaya ko na pala to. And then I realized, as I was changing through lifting, I was changing myself as well. I was setting standards for myself. Gusto ko ganito yung klase ng buhay ko. And then, eventually, I realized when I graduated, and then I was competing in powerlifting here in the Philippines already, I decided, this is something I want to share to other people. Try to extend change the way sports and lifting changed me. It's very intrinsic, at the same time, it's very external. Intrinsic meaning when you get stronger kasi, people think it's all muscle, but no, it's a mind connection, it's your nervous system adapting to weight. At the same time, the external part is your physical changes as well.
Mhm.
So I'd like to share that, have people direction. And then eventually, sabi ko, parang, there's no way anyone's gonna go to an A de la Cruz gym. So one day I decided, I tried out this gym, and I didn't know they were looking for a coach. And then I tried out their workout. That same night, I became a CrossFit coach. So that's when the
Wow.
journey for me started. I became a CrossFit coach 2011. I was coming from a class in UP. I was taking up masters that time of human movement science, and then I took up that trial class. Then that same night, I became a CrossFit coach. And then a year after, 2012, that's when I started building my gyms. I started my first gym, which is CrossFit Insurrecto. And then 2013, I went to Dubai. I coached there for a bit. I came back here. And during those times, I was always learning a lot about myself when it comes to how to deal with people. At the same time, learning so much about me. Just to backtrack, if you notice what I kept on saying a while ago was that I wanted to do this to share to people, which is my why. Why? My reason for being, my calling, my vocation.
Yeah.
But through the years, learning what I know now, the why should always come after knowing who you are. Because not knowing who I was the root cause of plenty of my failures. Hurting a lot of people, being the cause of relationship failures, the lying and the other stuff. And through all those years, I kept on failing in life. And then eventually I realized what you should always fix first when you go forward is always who you are. Who you are. Ano ka ba? Ano klaseng tao ka? Ano klaseng lalaki ka? Sino ka ba? Sino mo gusto mong maging? And then from there, what you are, what do you want to be? Who do you aspire to be? I remember I imagined writing on my tombstone. I said, okay, what do I want to be written on my tombstone? I said, okay, I want to be written there, I'm a good man. So how do you work that backwards to where I was currently, and then how do you move yourself forward to that? And that has been my theme all throughout my life, especially in my most rock bottom time, which was like 2017. My gym's closed. I had relationship problems. I had problems with my ex-girlfriends. I had problems with friends and athletes. It's like everything was like nawala. And then from there, I realized, okay, as you move forward in life, you have to realize first who you are, sino ka ba talaga, what you are. And then from there, that makes your why stronger. Because you're always there to move it forward. Nagagawa mo siya ng tuloy-tuloy kasi kahit anong mangyari, kilala mo kung sino ka eh. At alam mo kung ano magiging ikaw. You know. Sorry, I talk a lot about these things.
No, it's
No. Sabi ko natutunan agad. Kaya kung ako. Wow. Oo
Okay,
nga.
okay na yan, boss. Masaya na ako. Okay na ako.
Extreme.
Okay na ako doon, tara.
Puno na ako ng knowledge, like, wow, ganon yung feeling ko right now. And wait lang. Babati lang muna tayo ng mga tao na nasa stream. So,
Yes.
yeah, we have here Billy, we have Johnny Frost, Misa, Sarah Hernandez, Sarah.
Oh, hey Sarah.
My angel for the past 3 weeks. So, magkasama kaming mag-launch ng bagong kineso. So, we have Jera and Abby, and my dad is watching the stream. Hey, Papa.
Hey.
Papa from Dubai. I know that you're from Dubai po.
Hello, Dad. Charot.
Wait, sorry. May gusto ko itanong kay Coach kasi 'di ba sobrang ganda nung point na sinabi niya kanina. It's so profound when you said you have to know yourself. So I think it's also a sense of the sense of self before you even start asking what your purpose is. So what piece of advice can you give people who are still struggling to find out who they are in life?
Yes. So
when I coach people right now and do online coaching, the first thing I make them realize is that when you do fitness, it's a form of self-love. It's a form of self-care. It's a form of you giving back to yourself. And then, when you try to take care of yourself first, it's easier for you to see kung sino ka ba. Kasi kapag hindi mo naalagaan sarili mo, hindi mo alam kung kapag hindi mo naalagaan sarili mo, essentially, you're looking for comfort first. That's part of the normal hierarchy of needs of man. You have to be secure first. So when you take care of yourself and that part of you gets taken care of, inaalagaan mo yung sarili mo when it comes to food, security, and stuff like that, it's easier for you to know sino ba ako from here on. And some people lead their lives in some mundane state because they're always stuck with the fact that I need to secure myself first. But the thing they always forget is that when you try to take care of yourself first, not just securing yourself or family, alagaan mo na yung sarili mo, that's when you get open up to other things, like kikilalanin mo, ano ba talaga ako? What are my standards? Ano bang gusto kong maging? Sino ba yung gusto kong makikilalang, when I look in the mirror, do I like myself? Those questions are really just there all the time. And then the first thing you do in order for you to answer that question is always take care of yourself first. Self-love, especially for men. This is my preaching for men, especially for men. We do not know the concept of self-love so much. Maano tayo, parang we don't cry, we don't show feelings, we just try to live for others. We take care of other people all the time. But the thing is, you only take care of other people when you take care of yourself first. And then when you take care of yourself first, you're able to know. You give yourself a chance to see, ano ka ba? Sino ka ba? And then from there, you can take care of others first. And then your why becomes more, klaro, ba't ko ito ginagawa lahat?
Right.
It's a step-by-step process. I know. I hope I make sense. Sometimes, I just talk a lot about these things.
And siguro, Boss Babe, huhugot lang din ako na a lot of our, based from experience din naman, a lot of times our relationships fail with other people because we're trying to find ourselves in other people. So the best advice that I got from someone in terms of relationship naman in the past is before you even start a relationship, kailangan solid na yung sense of self mo. Kung hindi, hahanap-hanapin mo yun sa ibang tao and that's not gonna work. So, because kagaya nung sinabi ni Tom Cruise dun sa movie niya, what's that again? Risky Business? Or Tobey Maguire tuloy. What's that? Jerry Maguire?
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Okay.
Di ba sabi niya yung you complete...
Sige lang basta Maguire.
Yeah, nung sinabi niya na you complete me, parang, wait lang, hindi ba dapat kompleto ka na kapag pumasok ka sa relationship? So that resonated in me then. But yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, although I also wanted to say that when you can't wait until such time that you complete yourself before you get into a relationship. I think the key to making sure that a relationship works is the both of you understanding that you both came from these different journeys. You respect those journeys and you also respect what you what you have now and what you don't have yet that you're still working on. And so just completely understanding that you're still on your journey and your own road to your individual completion.
Mhm.
That should be enough to keep a relationship going. Because if you don't understand that that other person is going on their own journey,
Mhm.
chances are hanapin mo talaga yung sarili mo dun sa ibang tao, right? And
Yeah.
so
Mm.
it's just respecting somebody else's individuality that's going to help that relationship, keep growing.
Yeah.
But this is
That's
not
fair.
about relationships,
Yeah.
but it's still ano naman. This episode is not about relationships, but
Mhm.
it is true though. Everything that we've been talking about self-care, you can't pour from an empty cup. Similar to like you can't get to any destination. If you're driving, you need to fill up that tank. And so if that tank isn't full, then you won't get to wherever your destinations are. And so you have to find a way to refuel, so that you can
Mhm.
give more. And then so may naalala akong post mo about the man card. For some reason na, right? And so for some reason kasi sabi mo kanina na so for men, sometimes we're not in tune with our emotions, or we tend to like maybe sweep it under the rug, and that's where the man card comes out, where we say na ano nga ba yun? Like, I don't like Taylor Swift because I'm a man, or whatever the case may be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the key there is to be comfortable in your skin and to be comfortable in your truths, no matter
Yeah.
what everybody else's standards are. Yeah.
And just to add to that, I mean,
Mm.
most men, when pag pinapalaki tayo, we are very tribal sa mga lalaki. I mean, women are more interactive when it comes to other women. Kapag kunyari, imagine, when one of your friends have a breakup, what do? You guys have a girls' night or whatever. You guys tend to cheer up each other. Sa
Yeah.
mga lalaki, kasi it's more of very tribal. May hierarchy yan lagi. Kumbaga, ang nangyayari madalas, this is my own experience. You tend to please other men of how they look at you. Dapat siga ka rin, you wear a certain thing, you carry yourself a certain way, and that's very toxic as you grow up. Kasi you lose sight of what you can be and who you should be. And because you try to lead a life as early on as you can, you try to lead a life in such a way, you try to make other men matutuwa sa mga tito, tatay, matutuwa sa, uy,
Mm.
ano yan, good boy yan sobra, magaling yan sa ganito. Pero without realizing that, boy yan, blue lang dapat ang isuot mo, dapat ganito lang ginagawa, don't play with dolls, play with dapat puro baril lang ang laruan mo. And
Right.
that stunts growth of men. Yeah, when they grow up, they don't have an idea na parang sino ba talaga ako dito. I experienced that myself, and to think I'm very, kumbaga, lalaki ako eh. Pero I was still living the way na parang kung paano dapat sumunod sa mga ibang lalaki, especially for Filipinos. Napakaano natin na dapat siga ka, dapat matapang ka, kaya mo kahit ano. So that's how I lived my life when I was younger, and that brought to me even in relationships, even how to handle business, how to deal with people, and the man card talaga because when I realized that it's very toxic, sabi ko, fuck it. Gusto ko, sorry, pwede ba magano?
It's okay. Don't worry. You do you.
You do you.
You do you.
So yeah, doon lang nag-ano yan. Parang, fuck it. I just wanna, I'm gonna be living in other men's shadow how I'm supposed to be never brought me good at anything. Because at the end of the day, I'm living my life on my own terms anyway. No one's paying my bills. No other men's paying my bills for me. So just try and enjoy how you should live life the way you want it without hurting anyone, right?
It's a good thing you discovered that earlier on, no? Kasi there are a lot of people who haven't discovered that truth even today.
I actually discovered that very late. I mean,
Okay.
paano ba? Well, let's just bring it out there. I was very bad in relationships before, and that caused a lot of pain to a lot of people when I was younger. And kasi siyempre sa lalaki, parang, uy, cool ka pag marami kang chicks, marami nag gusto sa'yo, etc., etc. And then, in 2017, when I failed another relationship, uh, she discovered I was with another girl, and then she literally, in her pain, she wanted to get back at me and everything. My life really went downhill.
Mm.
I lost my gyms. Sabay-sabay, I lost my gyms. Nalugi yung mga gym ko. My friends felt like I wasn't the man I'm supposed to be. I preached one thing, but at the same time, I was this other person. I was hiding a lot of things from people. And then that relationship failed as well again. I was like, di ko na alam kung ano ako dun eh. And then I realized I was living my life the way other men should view me. And then di ako yun eh. I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to see who I was. And most men, especially Filipino men, this is what I realized. They don't even get to the point that di ka dapat ganyan. Dapat alam mo kung sino ka. Ano ka ba talaga? Ano bang gusto mo maging? Saan ka papunta? And then you walk backwards. And it's a hard journey for me to go back. I remember I was in Hong Kong at that time. I was working as a coach there. And I was writing my stuff. I mean, who the fuck are you really? Who do you want to be? Are you gonna leave your life the way? Do you keep on shooting your foot and fail in everything that you do just because you don't know who you are? So then I try to rewrite everything about myself. I want to be a man of integrity. I don't want to lie anymore. I want to move forward the way I want to be, and then make myself proud whenever I speak of my truth. Right now, it's hard for me to say that I failed relationships before. I was lying. I was this. I was that. But at the same time, that's my truth. That's my story. And I want to keep on saying that it's okay to fail. It's okay to know that you were wrong before. What matters what you are right now, who you are right now, and how do you move yourself forward from there.
Right.
And that's the theme I've been having since I came back here in the Philippines in 2018. And then sabi ko, I want to get back my name in the coaching thing. I want to see what I can do with myself. And then life has been good since then. There were a lot of struggles, but the moral compass of kilala mo kung sino ka makes my why of preaching being a better person, makes it more, its magnitude, it becomes really, really bigger and more fulfilling. Yeah.
Ano ba yan? Lalim ng usapan
yung viewers natin, hindi sila makapag-comment kasi they are very immersed sa mga ayan. Ako,
insight eh, no?
Wait lang, boss babe. Sasegue naman ako. Wait lang. So, kasi ito, personal question, Coach A. Kung halimbawa...
Episode to ni Dan eh.
so syempre, nag-quarantine, di ba? So, ang mga tao, aminin na natin, nagdagdagan tayo ng mga timbang. So, if you have naman... best advice for people who wanted to start losing weight, where should they start? In a way na parang, in a sustainable way. Kasi diba, a lot of people, they give up early kasi, this is not working. Gaya nga sabi ni Coach, fuck it. So,
ganito, I view coaching people the same way I try. Because I used to, when I came back in the Philippines, the first thing I did was, I got away from coaching. I went back. I was a life insurance agent. I was selling insurance, and that gave me a perspective that's really connected to coaching and fitness. When you buy insurance, you're always asked, what is the premium that you can give that you can sustain for 5 years? Yeah, maganda kung 15,000 ang kaya mo monthly, but is that sustainable for your life for the next 5 years? It's the same thing for fitness. You think about it this way. For the next 5 years, what can I do every day or every 5 days or every month that I know 5 years from now, I can still do it? And you think of it that way. Kasi most of the time, pag ang tao lumaki, ang gusto kagad nila, in 30 days, I'm going to be fit again. I'm going to lose all of the fat. That doesn't work that way. You didn't get fat ng biglaan. So you're not going to lose that fat the same way. So you think about something that you can do for, let's say, 5 to 10 years. I've been doing this for like more than 10 years, like almost 20 years na yata ako nagbubuhat. Pero it's still an ongoing process. It's the same thing. It's something sustainable. But at the same time, when you start on something, I would advise all the time, especially if you're overweight, walk lang. As in, most people, ayaw nila maglakad. Di ko magets. They want to do HIIT kagad, they don't want to do circuit, they don't want to... Lakad lang. In fact, if you're starting off, other coaches might not agree with me, but as long as you're moving, even if Zumba yan, go ahead because that's a starting point for you. You're not going to be staying there for any time, for a long time. You eventually you feel like I can do more. I can do this. I can add this to my workout. I can get a coach to help me move myself forward. But you always find a way to do something that's really sustainable. Kumbaga parang chachaniin mo muna. I mean, you guys know that term, unti-unti. Then suddenly you realize, 6 months from now, okay, I lost 20 pounds na pala, hindi ko lang naman napansin. Kasi the thing with us, we're organisms of motivated by two things, fight or flight. Ang tao are motivated by two things, either you fight to survive or you leave to survive. So always find a way to survive. So when you try to implement 100% kind of workout, full of intensity, yes, you can do that in 3 days, but for the next month, you know for a fact that's impossible. That's why I don't recommend running kagad, especially for overweight people. What I would recommend all the time, please just make it 45-minute to 1 hour walk. If you feel bored that way, get your music, your Spotify or whatever, put it on your head, just listen and keep on walking. Walk your dog, do household chores, things that are very simple and very applicable in your everyday life. Hindi mo napapansin, you're doing something for yourself which will get you fit and lose the fat. Yeah, that's what I try to suggest all the time, especially during this quarantine.
So
parang feeling ko gusto ni Vicky yung do household chores dan. Yung tipo yung yung linisin mo lahat, yung pati itaas, ganyan, yung mga ceiling. Alam mo, feeling ko magugustuhan ni Vicky yun.
So ito yung naiisip ko, lalo na during this quarantine, a lot of people are at home and taking work calls from home. So the way that I imagined it, naka-Bluetooth na headset ka or whatever, pero nagwawalis ka sa labas, ganon?
if that works for you, di ba? Hugas ka ng pinggan.
Hugas ka ng... So, basta you keep moving.
Yeah.
You gotta keep on moving. Kasi, cumulative kasi ang fitness. It's not a one-stop thing that you do one thing and then boom, okay ka na. No, it's cumulative, adds up. It's supposed to add up. You're an organism of fight or flight. So you gotta find a way to prevent those two things from happening. Ayaw mo nga ayawan yung ginagawa mo at ayaw mo na feel that you're dying as you work out. You wanna go for something that's sustainable and fully all the time. That's what I try to preach.
Right. So I think this is a good time to ask our study question for the night, because we're already talking about ways for you to get back from rock bottom. And so our study question for tonight, for everybody who's still watching the stream, I'd like to know, what do you do when life knocks you out? When adversity knocks you out? When challenges knock you out? Or when you're knocked out, what do you do to get back up? And so whatever your answers are, please put them down in the comment section so that we can have this conversation. And so relating to that, I think you answered some of it, Abe, but choose, let's say, maybe one of the biggest adversities that you've ever gone through in your entire life. And then tell us like what your journey was to whatever you did to turn it around for yourself.
Well, right now, the thing that I want to accomplish right now is I want to fix my relationship with my daughter, especially because I haven't seen her during this quarantine. And my daughter is 19 years old. She's a teenager now. Her mom and I are in good terms. She has her own family in New Zealand already. But in the course of our conversation with mom, na parang ngayon ang na-realize ko is that my daughter and I are not in good terms. And then we haven't talked, we haven't seen each other. And that's my current predicament, how to fix my life right now. I can't do anything to force my daughter to talk to me. But what I can do all the time is like any other failure or rock bottom situation, the only thing you can control are your actions and your intentions. So my intention right now is to fix my relationship with my daughter. What are the actionable steps that I can do? I can fix myself, create a life for us, for that way when she's ready to talk to me, she'll realize that, okay naman pala, we can fix everything. And I fix myself constantly, and then try to align myself in what did I do to hurt her that's right now in her situation. She doesn't want to talk to me. What did I do? I always have to be accountable to my actions, to my own perspective of how I can live my life. That way, at some point in time, because time will really find a way to fix things if your intentions are clear. So
Right.
if I'm by the time, when time comes that we're both ready to talk again, maybe that could come next month or the end of the year, I know for a fact that I'll be ready to just, anak, I'm sorry for whatever I did. I know I lack, for all the years of my mistakes, I know for a fact that I need to do a lot of catching up and doing more. So I want to fix that. And that's going to be my truth at that time. Ready na ako talaga to fix that. And and any situation in our lives, the only thing we can control are two things nga. Your actions and your intentions. And what do you want? Ano ba intention mo rito? And what is connected to that intention that will help you realize that I can move away from the failure that I'm experiencing right now.
And so it's so important. It sounds so important for you to know where your point A is first, which is who you are now. And then it's so interesting. I've never thought of what my tombstone is going to say. And so that's your point B. And then everything leading up to that point B is what you're going to do cumulatively
Constantly.
right now.
Yeah.
Tama? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Cool.
This is where I learned, and this is where I learned when I started working out and giving back to myself, that it takes 21 days to form a habit. This is what I am like engraved in my brain, as in it takes 21 days to form a habit, but it takes 90 days to form an entire lifestyle. And so alam mo yun, parang you have to think about it in increments where, okay, what's something that I can do for 21 days? And then those 21 days, you just keep on multiplying that until it becomes your entire lifestyle, right? So is that
Yes.
something that's relevant to what we're talking about, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Boss,
Cool.
Boss
Yes.
Babe, let me just go to the comment section kasi may mga
Yes.
may mga sumagot na doon sa question natin. So
Yes,
sabi ni Army Vidad, hitting rock bottom is not the end. It's in the process of getting your way back up that matters, and it's on how many people you influence that assures that you have been reborn. That's beautiful words.
Diba?
And then sabi naman ni Billy Kirubin. Billy, as my as my NBA hero would say, fall down 7, stand up 8.
Yep.
Lovely. And one last, see Chris Gonzalez, you stand again and keep in mind why you started. I think that's very important, to give you that extra push. Try to remember why you're in it in the first place. Oh, one last. Sabi ni Mark Legaspi, when hitting rock bottom, I usually just think how I'll be in 2 to 5 years. I still want to be as active and healthy for my family, especially for my daughter. I want to see myself healthy and comfortable with my body again. As much as possible, I'm still pulling myself back up every single day.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
There's a why in there. The why in there is to
Family.
be healthy for the family and for his daughter. Marvy
Yeah.
also responded and said, dumadami na. I always tell myself that it is better to try and fail than never to try at all. Kasi if I try and I failed, I still gain experience.
Nice.
Still a win situation for me.
One thing that I remember, may isa akong friend na nagsabi na even the darkest day only has 24 hours.
Oh,
Ganda nun.
Oh, ganda nun.
Ah,
Ang
right.
ganda nun. Gusto ko yung hugot na yun.
So it tells you na
Hugot lahat talaga yun.
no,
talaga.
Oo.
this too
And
shall
then-
pass.
And then
Mhm.
Mike Cruz also says, when I get knocked down, I sit there for a bit and spend an adequate amount of time brooding, crying, feeling down and depressed, doing this to feel the pain so I can
Yeah.
learn from the pain and get stronger to get up.
That's true.
Actually, ganyan ako. I take a moment to
Right.
feel everything. And then, I think nasabi ko na to dun sa sa dating episode natin. I think it's with basta.
Okay.
So yun, I feel I take a moment to feel everything, and then after mo nang mapasok lahat, I lilalabas ko siya sa art ko. And then if pag napagod ka na, okay, tama na yun. So guys, yung mga hugot ko po, wala talaga siyang laman. Hilig ko lang talaga hugot.
For entertainment purposes lang po ang mga hugot ko.
Oo, kahit saang meron talaga, may hugot ako, pero it's not really with laman or anything.
Awesome.
Going back to that feeling of emotions,
Yeah.
sometimes kasi most of us, when we try to experience painful situations in our life, the first thing we try to do, this is very evident for men, we try to shortcut that part of feeling. We try to say, we're okay, I'm okay, kaya ko na to, moving forward. But the thing with pain kasi, this is my experience when I went to therapy of fixing myself, and a lot of my own life coaches na tumulong sa akin to move myself forward. I realized that you have to experience every bit of it. That way, there is no trauma that's left inside you.
Yes.
Pain will always stay with the painful part kasi lalabas at lalabas it eventually. That would cause to trauma after a few years. You can extend that to other people. You can be toxic to other people. And that's really born. And that yung pinanggagalingan yun is that lack of feeling of every moment. Mm-hmm. That's why most men, as they grow older, dun tayo lumalabas sa parang they become angry and without them knowing why they are. And then that's why I try to tell people, I have a friend, recently lang, he had problems with family. And then she was so mad. Sabi ko, he was telling to me, he was consulting, I was consoling him, what's happening with his life, tapos nagko-consult siya sa akin. Sabi ko, right now, what you need to do is feel everything first. Mm-hmm. That way, when the time comes, you start healing, which will come eventually no matter what. Parte yan ang pagkatao natin Ready ka na to heal everything kasi nalabas mo natin feelings. But if you try to fasten it up, bibilisan mo yan, doon ka na para sa healing, it will always come back
Go
to
back
you.
Yeah.
Babalikan. Sisigilin ka kasi kailangan mo siyang maramdaman.
Right.
Yes, because pain demands to be felt, di ba? Anong book na yun?
Demands talaga.
Pain.
Pain. Open our stars.
That resonated in me too much. I mean, so well, Coach. Kasi, diba, that's how we also improve our emotional intelligence. The more you spend time with a particular emotion, the more you learn something about it. And so, and then madadagdag siya sa vocabulary mo of emotions. And so in the future, you're better equipped handling that type of emotion. The problem is, kagaya nga na sinabi ni Coach, we have this culture na kapag when someone feels down, people around that person, would usually say, sige, kaya mo yan. Wag ka nang umiyak. But these are my emotions. These are my emotions. It's mine and mine alone. So I have to deal with them. Other people kasi get into problem-solving mode, instead of emotional support muna, right?
Yes.
Let them feel it kasi that's part of you as a human being to feel. The moment that you don't feel, it becomes a psychological problem itself.
Yeah.
Ang ganda na itong sinabi ni Billy, sorry na, in the comment section, he said, if you can't beat the fear, just do it scared, by Glennon.
Oh, nice.
Any type of emotion kasi is valid no one can, kasi nung lumaki kasi tayo, pag umiiyak tayo, sinasabihan tayo, tahan na. Stop crying. Don't cry. Yon. But then, and so as we grew up, every time that we associated it that way na every time that I felt something bad or something was wrong, I can't cry because I have to stop crying. And so it's such a good message to everybody na your feelings should not be invalidated, and you should not invalidate your own feelings either. Otherwise, that's trauma that you will carry with you until forever, or until you discover that you just absolutely have to let it flow. Ma-heartbroken ka man, you have to let it flow. You have to feel it. Para the next time that you feel happier, you can appreciate what wisdom you got from that pain, and you know how to pivot from that pain. You know what to avoid the next time.
Right.
Yeah, and in addition to that, when you feel kasi, when you start to really feel things, you learn to communicate better why you're feeling, what are you really feeling. But
Yes.
when you stunt yourself from those things, when you don't feel the part of you communicating how you are,
Mm-mm.
nawawala yun eh. That gets lost in translation. That's why sometimes pag tinatanong ka, okay ka lang ba? But you're
Mm-mm.
not really okay. Pero
Mm-mm.
you can't communicate anymore how. Ano ba talaga nararamdaman ko? Feeling ko okay lang ako, pero at the same time, I know there's something wrong.
Right.
So yun lang. It's okay to feel. You should feel everything. And then from that feeling, you learn to communicate how, why, ba't ganito. Mga ganon.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's and so it's such an insightful conversation. We have to do a little bit. We have to find out something a little bit fun here. But before I go to the fun stuff, Ruthie, you
Mhm.
wanted to say something?
I wanted to say goodbye.
Oh yeah.
As much as I would like to stay with everyone, I'm gonna need to drop off. Guys, I have a chat plan. But since I love doing this podcast, I still make time for it. And okay, I'm gonna see you guys next week.
Yes. Kakayod
Ladies,
muna si
Yes.
Ruth.
Ruth.
Bye.
Yes. Thank you, Ruthie. Have fun at the strat plan. All right.
Laters.
What I wanted to ask Din A was powerlifting. How in the world? So I know that I know you went through you competed professionally in sports, and then you did martial arts. How in the world did you get to powerlifting? And I'm interested only because I got a taste of it, and I kind of know what that feeling is. But why? Why did you choose that discipline going forward?
Um, for boxing kasi I really fought a lot in boxing. I had one pro. I remember fighting plenty of times for that. And then I moved into jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts, and I fought a lot there. Well, not really professionally, but I really fought a lot. Kasi
Mm,
professionally, you get paid for that.
mm,
Well, I
mm.
never got paid to compete, but I fought
Okay,
a lot.
passion lang siya.
Yeah. Yung
Mm.
tipong bububugin ka lang talaga, makipagbubugan ka lang talaga. And after makipagbubugan, mag-appear kayo na parang, okay, good game, pare. So,
Okay.
weird concept. Anyway, tapos, I went into powerlifting because I wanted to get strong. The thing with martial arts, most people don't want to lift because they feel like they'll get slow. But in my head,
Ah.
what I learned about it was like, if all else is equal, skill wise, training wise, sparring wise, we did everything. If I am stronger, I have an advantage to my opponent. My
Right.
punch becomes harder. I can knock him out really, really faster. My punch really hurt him harder. So that's the thing that really pulled me into powerlifting, which is really getting stronger. But after a while, I realized, uy, mas masarap pala magbuhat kaysa mabugbog lagi. Basag-basag na yung mukha ko. I mean, ngayon, medyo malabo na yung mata ko because of the constant punching in my head when I was younger. I was like, okay, I want to get stronger because it's a different sport in itself. The intricacies of every bit of detail, how you get stronger, how you adapt your nervous system, your mind into lifting. Kasi most people think when they lift, it's all about building muscle. No,
Mm,
not necessarily. A lot of the strongest people in this world are not even that big. As in talaga sobrang lalakas nila, pero they're not big. They have considerable muscle mass, but at the end of the day, hindi sila ganun kalaki talaga. So that really pulled me into it. And then I realized, okay, I have a knack of getting stronger. And I tried understanding how to get stronger further, apply that to myself, apply that to other people, because this is what I believe in so much as well. When you're stronger, everything becomes easier for you. And
mm,
encompassing paniniwala ako sa pamumuhay ko. Pag mas malakas ka ngayon, mababa man ang pakiramdam mo,
mm,
magiging madali yung lahat ng parte ng buhay mo.
mm.
Yun yung hugot niya sa buhay. So,
Nice.
I went into powerlifting and lifting and sharing that.
So, Coach A, meron din akong question kanina. Total, nandito na tayo sa subject ng buntalan at bugbugan. So, when, kapag nasa ring ka na with another person, how do you control your emotions? Kasi you're getting hit, over and over again. And in life, when someone hits you, di ba, parang nagagalit ka eh. You become enraged and full of these negative emotions, almost to the point na gusto mo nang, tapusin yung taong yan. But how do you manage these emotions and keep the sportsman like demeanor when you're fighting someone?
in fighting, the misconception is that you're always aggressive when it comes to fighting. Tagang, basta bato ka lang ng bato ng suntok. But the thing is, in fighting, you always find calm in your storm. Kasi the moment you become aggressive, your muscles tend to tighten up sobra. So, nagiging ganito ka.
Yes.
And then your punches become telegraphic. Nakikita ka agad kasi kapag nag-hunch ka ng ganito, lahat ng suntok mo nakikita rito.
Okay.
So you don't do that. You always find calmness. Find your calm in that very chaotic environment. Same as life, when you become problematic, you stay still. Stillness
Right.
is the key. Nga, sabi, there's this book, Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. You stay in that moment, find your center, what's happening right now. Yes, I feel mad, I am angry, I want to punch this person, but where am I in right now in my current situation? Where am I? So you find that center. Same as fighting, kasi talagang doon ka dapat lang. Stay ka lang dito. Tapos, you see the punches, and then you flow, and then eventually makikita mo parang, okay, tinatamaan ako, pero nakikita ko na siya, and then you punch back. Bang, 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 bang. That's how it is all the time when it comes to fighting. Kaya nga maganda panoorin yung mga magagaling lumaban, kasi there's always that calm between them as they throw punches to each other.
Cool.
The moment you become aggressive, patay.
Like who? Kasi for some reason in my mind, parang feeling ko they're all aggressive eh.
Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather Jr. If you try to look his first round up to fourth round, it's always assessing. He finds calm. He gets punched. In his fight with Pacquiao, first few rounds, ang daming tama ni Pacquiao sa kanya. Pacquiao was winning and everything. And then suddenly, on the sixth round, and rounds after that, wala na. He was, Mayweather was just picking spots over Pacquiao because of the fact, through the first few rounds, during that chaotic environment of him being punched, that's when he finds his center. Ano bang ginagawa? What is his style? Ano saan ba siya sumusuntok? Ano yung mahinang rito? Kapag ito ba yung rhythm niya, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's yun yung ginagawa niya lagi.
Kaya siya tumatakbo kasi inaaral niya? Tama ba?
Actually, it's not running. People view it as running. Media prescribes it as running, but it's always him studying his opponent. He just doesn't want to get hit. In boxing, kasi there's a rule. Everyone has a plan until someone gets hit. So when you get hit, all of the plans get out. Biglang mo na kung mangyayari sa'yo, especially when you get hit hard. He avoids getting hit. That way, he can plan all the time what he's gonna do next.
Gusto ko
It's
yan.
not running.
Yeah.
Gusto ko yung, may tama sa akin yung everyone has a plan until you get hit.
Until you get hit.
Diba? Totoo yun.
Napaka life-changing nun.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, di ba? Love it or hate it. Hindi natin pwedeng, we can't take that away from Floyd. He's a very technical fighter. And yun, kagaya ng sinabi ni Coach, yung certain calm, that fighters need to have. So, how will you translate that naman in life, Coach?
Well, the thing with rock bottom, in my own experience with rock bottom, it's very quiet there because there's no one else but you and the floor.
Right.
Doon ka lang sa sahig. And then you find it's easier for you to find your center in that situation because despite the chaos around you, you know for a fact, it's just you and the floor. Sahig lang, saka ikaw lang. And then you think about it, so saan ba ako nang pupunta from here on? And that's where you find your calm. You try to find that's when you think, and then you try to assess where you are right now. What led me to where I am right now? And how do I move myself forward? So dun lagi. So in life as well, in your most chaotic situation, you know for a fact, either your back is against the wall or you're there down on the floor, there's always something there na hanapin mo. Yung eye of the storm, which is the most calm place in that chaotic environment. Dun mo siya mahahanap.
Cool.
Iniisip ko pa rin eh. Like I can't figure out like how I'm going to be calm when I'm wearing gloves. I'll get there one day.
Yeah.
Kasi when you put on your gloves, you feel like you're there na eh. And so that's your fight or flight mode eh. Right?
That's true. Yes, that's true. Iba kasi pag when you do fighting for fitness, you do boxing for fitness, it's so different when it comes to boxing for fighting. Those are two polar opposites of the same sport. Sobrang magkaibang siya. Kasi when you get in the ring, you have someone in front of you, the goal of that person is to hit you.
Right.
And your goal is to hit that person.
Right.
So how do you get to that point? Who wins in this situation? And the more someone gets a hold of his emotions first, tapos pag siya yung unang magbato ng suntok, yun yung natatalo madalas. That's why nga, if you notice at the start of any fight, they each other. Antay-antay lang sila. Tapos from there, they pick their spots. They try to measure. Sinusukat nila saan pupunta yung suntok. And then from there, doon mo na malalaman sino mas magaling talagang fighter. You never, unless makachamba na matinamaan sa first round, bumagsak kagad, the fight, you see the fight at the latter rounds. And this is in boxing. So 6 to 12th round, doon mo lang nakikita lahat yan, yung ganda ng laban lagi. Sorry na pupunta na sa sports yung usapan natin.
Hindi, pero okay siya kasi na-relate ko bigla. Lahat ng sinabi mo, may sinabi ka kanina na na-relate ko sa in real life, what happens is yung pikon laging talo.
Right.
Totoo.
And so pag ikaw yung unang-una naging like nagbato ng emotion sa isang conversation where when your intention is to fix whatever it is that needs to be fixed and then the other person nagbato ng like something na patama sa'yo or insult towards you, siya yung natatalo dun sa conversation na yun.
Yeah, because sometimes when we try to feel things, when we get emotional, what gets lost in translation is how to communicate those feelings.
Right.
So when you lose sight of why you're communicating that feeling, why you're feeling this way, dun na nagkakaroon ng problema. It causes problems to yourself, cause problems to other people. That's what I realized in myself and coaching other people, learning their situations, and reading books, constantly learning how to manage yourself in different situations.
Right.
May naalala ko, Boss Babe, kasi itong usapan na to yung napag-usapan din namin ni June Del Rosario, our guest from episode 3. Kasi we ran this workshop called Conflict Theory that utilizes Aikido movements to relate it to conflict management and conflict theory. There's this particular life lesson that says, step off the line of the attack and then witness your attacker. It resonated in me kasi parang yung sinabi ni Coach kanina na unang magbato ng emotions during the fight usually natatalo. And so in conflict situations, you would do very well na lahat ng atake papunta sa'yo, wag mong sasalubungin, wag mo ring aatrasan, gumilid ka lang habang inoobserbahan mo yung tao, and then you'll be able to redirect the energy back to the person. Parang, wow, mind blown.
Grabe na, ang dami.
Yung connection kasi,
parang matututunan eh. Oo.
Right. And they say
you
that
have to be, it tells you, go ahead, Dan.
Sorry. Which is ironic lang kasi 'di ba martial arts, parang hitting, defending, being the aggressor, commanding the floor.
Yes.
But it teaches us so much about emotional intelligence as well, 'di ba? How you sportsmanship. Control.
Yes.
And gaya nga nasabi ni June, Aikido really is not a martial arts for the aggressive people, but it's more of a lifestyle kasi. So, and yun lang, I'm going back to my corner.
No, but it does teach you discipline though. And so a lot of people think that like for me, my purpose of getting into Muay Thai was because of fitness. I wanted to do it because it was my stress reliever. It was my stress buster. For some reason, I needed my stress to become personified. And so that I can punch it. So it became the mitts, it became everything else that I could punch and then I could kick. And so it just makes so much sense now na you have to find that calm within that entire storm and plan what your next move is, because you don't know what that other person or whatever that situation is going to throw back at you. And so it's there was one saying that I read very recently na be scared of the calmest person in the room.
Right.
And that's what, diba? Kasi like in any, let's say, mga meeting, ganyan, if somebody is so outspoken, and then there are others who are quiet, it's the quiet ones, kapag sila na nagsalita, may laman yung salita nila, may meat yung sinasabi nila. Because, and that's my experience, kasi they already observed what everybody was doing, they already listened to what everyone else was saying, and so now they were able to kind of summarize everything else and come up with their own ideas. Maybe they built it up, and then they said something that made a lot more sense than what everybody else in the room was just, yapping about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so be scared of the
Man.
calmest person in the room. That's so true. Okay, so I want to ask this question for our swaggers as well. I'm pretty sure that they want to know. I know that we have to incorporate some sort of activity, physical activity in our life right now during this pandemic that will help us continue our fitness journey. And it's so important to do that. I just want to tell everybody it's so important to stay active, to be physically active, because you want to generate, and you want your body to generate those hormones that will help you give clarity, that will clear your mind. And so, sweeping, washing the dishes while you're on the call, and so on and so forth, you can do. But is there anything else, that you can recommend to everybody? That they can do very simply lang at home, maybe hindi natin alam kung limited lang pa yung space nila sa bahay or anything, but is there anything else apart from the household chores that they can do to continue their fitness journey?
Um, okay. Really depends on where you are.
Right.
If it's in a condo, well, even if it's a house, the thing with our bodies, our bodies are made to do certain movements. We're made to walk, we're made to run, we're made to crawl, we're made to carry things. That's our human genome of how we're supposed to move.
Mhm.
So if you're just at home, you don't have any weights, you don't have any access to any gym equipment, what you can always do are two things. Always just do squats, meaning you squat down as
Yes.
if you're sitting down and standing up,
Yes.
making sure that you learn what we call a hinging exercise, which is pushing your hips backwards or sitting down properly. And then the other thing is just um, lifting things off the floor in a more, what do you call this, fixed manner, meaning you activate your back, your posterior chain properly, and then you pick it up off the floor all the time. We have a term in strongman, which is I pick things up and I carry them. You can do that as well. You pick things up, you carry it in one place, pick things up, carry it in another place. Carries, squatting, lifting things off the floor properly are the most common things you can do at home. Kaya nga may ibang exercises, like for example, I've seen other coaches, they post their workouts wherein people are lifting, let's say, water containers. They're
Right.
sitting up and down on chairs and squatting properly on that manner. So yung mga everyday stuff that we do that we don't notice could be an add-on to our activity if we try to do more of that. And that's how you try to start your fitness journey, even if you don't have any equipment. Just pick things up, squat up and down, sit on your chair properly, carry things properly. Those exercises, those two things alone are more than enough to start you off on your fitness journey, especially during this pandemic.
Which means you don't really have to invest in those expensive gears and stuff like that. Unless you want to, go ahead. Pero what you're trying to say is there are household stuff that you can actually lift and carry.
Yeah. If you want to increase intensity at the end of the day, you have to invest in proper gym equipment.
Mm.
A kettlebell or a dumbbell is more than enough. But if you want to invest something else, which you're more inclined to your liking, like myself,
Mm-mm.
I was a gym owner, so I like the barbell. I have access to do lifting barbells and stuff like that. So I buy those things. I bought those things. Not because it is essential to getting fit, but that is my preference.
Right.
Kung wala ka masyadong gamit, budget constraints is a concern, all you gotta do is just get a pair of dumbbells, something heavier than your usual thing that you can lift at home, and then from there you can do squats and the same thing.
Mm-mm.
Squats and deadlifts, squats and lifting things off the floor, carrying things properly. That's more than enough to start off your fitness journey during this pandemic at home. Yan, mga ganyang bagay na hindi nakikita agad.
Yeah. Carrying your
Pero-
spouse, mga ganon.
Pwede, kung
Di ba?
kaya, di ba? But oo.
Okay, Dan. I want to see you do that. Pero there are a lot of people who don't know how to squat properly, don't know how to carry things or lift things from the ground properly. where can they learn how to do this properly?
Well, they can go to my Instagram channel. I teach that all the
There
time
you
there.
go.
And I have a YouTube channel as well, wherein I just teach there. You can access to that. But the most basic way is three things. Find your proper footing when it comes to squatting. So stand up. Find your proper footing that should be a little bit wider than your shoulders or shoulder width apart. And then try to point your toes 45 degrees to the side, pointing your knees at the same pattern, same tracking of your toes.
Right.
And then from there, stay upright, chest up. And then the first thing you need to do is push your hips backwards slightly and then go as slow as your body allows you. That's a squat already by itself. That's how I teach it, even if kahit kanino, yan tinuturo ko. Fix your footing, stand up, upright, get your chest out, big chest, and then push hips backwards and go as slow as your body allows you. Stand up, repeat that 20 times. Sobrang nakakapagod na yan for others.
Grabe yung 20. Grabe yung 20.
Yeah.
And so you already have a video like this na, diba? And this is all on your IG or IG, Facebook?
IG, Facebook, on my YouTube channel, which is also the same name of my coaching service, which is Rise Up PH, which you guys can check it out. That's more, the ones on YouTube are more tutorials. The ones on Instagram and Facebook are more interactive because I teach more there. Try to teach. My next goal for my YouTube is more to teach more. Help other people realize that they can always start their fitness journey wherever they are. Yun yung gusto ko mangyari kasi na parang fitness is always accessible. It's always good for everyone.
And you do this all online na ngayon, no?
Everything is online right now, yes. So
nice.
I have clients all over. I have clients here in the Philippines. I have clients in Australia. I have a few in the US. I have also in the Middle East. So I'm basically all over the place.
So in case any one of our viewers would like to get in touch with you, they can get in touch with any of your social media platforms that we're showing right now.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And so we'll leave those details in our in one of our future posts as well. We're coming up with a lot of posts for all of our guest speakers on Steady Wins Any Game, and so we'll leave your contact details there so that you can spread your word even more to a lot more people and help them on their fitness journey. Okay, we're rounding down to the last 12 minutes, which went by in a flash, and so diba? Sabi ko sa'yo, mabilis lang to eh. Okay, so any last piece of advice, Coach A, for all of our viewers about getting back up from rock bottom?
Rock bottom is never permanent. Everything passes by. Yeah, remember two things. I got it tattooed in my. When you're in rock bottom situation, remember two things. You will eventually die. So memento mori. I got the tattooed in my shoulder. Memento mori means remember you will die. So knowing that you will eventually pass through this earth is more than enough motivation for you to pick yourself up from where you are and then move yourself forward. Because nobody wants to die in a state we're in. Yun ka na lang. I don't think anyone in this world wants to live life that way. At some point in time, we're made to create impact, whether it's just one person or 10,000 people or millions of people. At the end of the day, and even if you want to make impact for yourself, at the end of the day, that's why you always remember that all of us will die eventually. But what do you do with yourself right now and where you are? So discover for yourself for that. Discover who you are from there. Yun yung lagi.
So the key is to get to know yourself and who you want to be. Got it.
That's the first few steps all the time. Yeah.
Right, because in our previous episode, Tony talked about why he does the things that he does, but it's so it adds on to the insight that you really have to get to know yourself first to figure out what your why is and why your why is your why. Diba?
Exactly, right? Kasi, through the years, I've noticed this kasi na parang the part of knowing your why is very romanticized. Know your purpose, why you're doing this. But people lose sight of the fact that your why becomes more important.
Right.
Kasi kilala mo yung sarili mo eh. If kilala mo sarili mo, you know what you're made of, and then your purpose of doing the things you do it becomes more magnified why it's very important. And then that's when that moves you more in life. That makes you create more impact with yourself. That creates more impact of your purpose, your calling, your vocation. That gives it more meat, kumbaga. Pero kapag hindi mo alam, at the end of the day, tatanungin mo sarili, ba't ko ba ginagawa lahat to? Dahil lang ba gusto ko? Dahil ito ako? Yung mga ganong klaseng questions. Introspection, the things that we try to ask ourselves that we never try to bother up until the time that we are there na parang rock bottom na parang, okay, ano nga ba nangyayari sa buhay ko? Ano gagawin ko rito from here on? Yung mga ganong bagay.
Right. Very insightful conversation that we had tonight. Went by in such a flash. Ang sabi pa ni Coach A kanina, di ba, Dan, 1.5 hours?
Kaya niyo yun?
Yung energy niyo. Kaya niyo 1.5 hours? Sabi ko sa'yo.
And we're nearing 1 hour and 30 minutes.
And here we are with 8 minutes down the line. But yes, so thank you so much again, A, for agreeing to be our guest for tonight. We got not just our viewers, but Dan, Ruthie, and I got so much from our conversation that just adds on to this, like the well of inspiration that we've been getting from all of our guests. And so we can't thank you enough for spending 1.5 hours of your day with us and our viewers. So thank you.
Respect much. Yeah, sorry.
I just want to say thank you so much. I mean, this platform of me voicing out my beliefs is such a huge step for me to continue my journey into helping other people discover the best version of themselves. And it is my honor. I'm very humbled that you invited me here, and I'm really, really grateful and thankful for this opportunity.
Thank you. We're very much aligned. So
The
we'll
pleasure
probably
is
see you
ours.
again soon. Yes. We can never tell. We might need guest hosts in our future episodes as well. So you can never tell, right?
I'll be more than happy to help you guys. To join you guys here.
Thank you. All right, so we're down to the last 7 minutes of our stream, and we would like to make sure that we are sharing some of our updates and reminders to all of our fellow swaggers. We have our next couple of episodes coming up soon. We mentioned earlier that we are fully booked until the end of October, and so coming in hot. We have episode 7, which is next week, with Arte Tattoo and our guest host, who is also a tattoo artist himself. His name is Dennis Mendoza. Arte Tattoo tells the world that tattoo is a form of healing meditation. So Coach A was talking about knowing yourself, feeling your feelings so that you can heal. And so next week, it's such a timely topic to talk about and to follow through on the conversation about healing. And so we'll have Arte Tattoo and Dennis Mendoza with us next week. And then Dan and I have a bonus episode on Sunday, September 6th. We will be playing, natatawa ako, we will be playing Fall Guys just for fun. So I know that every Saturday at 7 p.m., we talk about so much inspiration. There's deep introspection. We reflect a lot. But on Sunday, September 6th, join us just to laugh our hearts out, because I will be laughing and screaming my heart out. I think this is the side of me, Dan, that nobody else has ever seen.
Yeah.
Kasi this is where, oh my God. Just watch. So watch out for the details on our page. And then again, we're fully booked until the end of October with guests from different disciplines and industries. I have friends and former schoolmates who are now food and beverage entrepreneurs who will be joining us in another episode. Someone from the entertainment industry. She is a drag queen. And does this for a living in Canada. So will be joining us very early ng time niya. And then I'm super excited because we were able to book esports professionals, a CEO and a chief gaming officer of one of the most famous esports companies here in the Philippines, has agreed to be our guests in 2 separate episodes. And so watch out for more details on that. We have a stand-up comedian and a commercial photographer and a CEO from a technology company who will be joining us on our virtual stage. And so there's so much to come. And then if you guys have any suggestions of who we should be guesting next, we got a lot of suggestions from you guys in the last episode.
Keep them coming.
Think of, and if you can think of, and if you have thought of any other guests that you would like to see on our show, please let us know. Drop us a comment in the comment section, or feel free to message us as well through our Facebook page. Which brings me to, if you liked what you heard tonight and what you have watched tonight, there's so much more coming up. So please make sure to like all of our pages: Facebook, Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, and also like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which Dan will be posting in the comment section right now. Kasi mahina ako sa multitasking right now. There's so many windows on my screen. But yes, please like, share, and subscribe so that we can share the love with the entire world. And so, without further ado, again, Coach A, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach A. Much respect.
Thank you to all of our viewers who have stayed with us until the very end. And thank you so much to those who also dropped by to listen to the insightful conversation that we've had. Thank you. Tonight was a good ride with Coach A. We will see you next week on Steady Wins Any Game at 7 p.m. That's every Saturday. We'll see you next week at 7 with Arte Tattoo and Dennis Mendoza. Bye, guys.
Bye for now. Ooh, may pahabol pa. P.A. Dillera, like the stream.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening.
Good evening.
Bye.